Well, thank you, Clement. And from roving, we stay still but stay on the subject of energy conservation. Now, Zambia will tonight join billions of people from across the world in observing the Earth Hour event. Now, the Earth Hour is a global worldwide fund, WWF, climate change annual environment campaign that brings attention to the effects of climate change by asking people to switch off their lights at home and at their businesses for exactly 1 hour. The Earth Hour, which started in Sydney, Australia in 2007, is commemorated every last Saturday of March at 20:30 to 21:30 hours. So on the program to shed some more light on what will be going on is Moto Chisha, who's an ICT specialist from the WWF. Thank you very much for coming through to Kwacha Good Morning, Zambia.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. This is the second time, and I am excited.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. So shed some more light on what Earth Hour is all about and what it should inspire.
Okay. Earth Hour is actually a WWF climate change initiative, which basically started in 2007, Sydney, Australia. The whole idea behind Earth Hour was basically energy conservation in order to prevent global warming, contributing to climate change. Now, the one thing that we don't most of the times get to sort of take into consideration is the fact that as human beings and our lifestyle, we're contributing a lot of energy output into the environment, which is basically causing global warming. Earth Hour was basically devised to, bring people to awareness, to say these are the activities that we're engaging in, and we should desist by participating in, good environmental action programs. And Earth Hour is one such event. So it has basically grown over the years. We're looking at its initiation with participation of about 2.2 million homes and businesses. And just the following year, we shot up to about 50 million, people across the globe. So it became a global movement, so to speak. And now we're talking about hundreds of millions, of people around the world, participating in Earth Hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
It started in 2007, but maybe you could give us some background as to how long Zambia has been participating in this and in what ways.
Okay, fantastic. Our first participation in Earth Hour was basically in 2009.
Okay.
That was the first time we started, taking part in Earth Hour. Now, the way we have actually conducted or sort of held Earth Hour here in Zambia is that it's been sort of a closed community kind of, thing. We commemorate it at Intercontinental Hotel or somewhere where it is basically, closed off. And then we communicate the message, via, the media to talk to the people and just tell them what they're supposed to do when it is Earth Hour, where you switch off lights for about an hour from 20:30 to 21:30 in the night. But this year we've sort of decided to change the approach.
Would this be because people are celebrating Earth Hour anyway, every single day through load shedding?
Exactly. Well, so to speak, but because of course, and it was a little bit tricky for us to sort of
Yeah.
see what approach or angle we're going to take in order to have people feel the
They should
impact
be a
of climate
part of it,
change
yeah.
and how they're going to participate in Earth Hour, because we sort of experience this on a daily basis. So how are we going to make sense out of it? So we took the climate change angle to say this is how we're going to go about it. It is actually switching to renewables. It is not switching off your lights. We're switching now to renewables in order to create that environmental awareness and explore the area of solar energy. Yes.
Okay. Have you gotten a sense over the years of a better appreciation by Zambian people as to why it's important to think about climate change issues and how they affect us?
I can say that it's really been difficult to sell the this theory of climate change. And when I say theory, I mean it's a fact. I don't mean this to be a hypothesis. I mean, scientists across the globe have been talking about climate change for a very long time. Since the 1950s, they were talking about climate change. But to sell climate change to the common man and to sell climate change to the politicians, to sell climate change to businesses, to sell climate change to the government has been really, really difficult because it's been really hard to see. Coming down to Zambia, this year I think we can see it. because this electricity deficit that we've got is actually because of climate change.
Right.
We don't have water in our main hydropower plant. The reason why we don't have water is because of climate change, not having to receive enough rainfall in the catchment area for the dam. That basically leads to, less water, being fed into the turbines, therefore less electricity, rationing. So it's sort of a blessing in disguise because now people are talking about it. Now governments are talking about it. They're now planning to come up with policies that are going to basically guide them forward in order to create a sustainable future for everybody. So this sort of Kariba Dam issue is a blessing in disguise for the Zambian community because now we can learn about climate change, we can learn about carbon footprints, we can learn about global warming, we can learn about the science that basically surrounds climate change, and therefore we can make the necessary changes into moving forward and creating a sustainable future. So I think the awareness has been raised, and we shall continue to raise that awareness and bring people to a point of knowledge.
Absolutely, and that's fantastic. Now talk about the theme for this year and how, as members of the public, we can get involved. I know you're gathering at a central place and what will be going on. Would you break it all down for us?
Yeah, this year I'm very excited.
Okay, can tell.
I'm very excited this year because the theme is actually Shine a Light on Climate Action.
Okay.
Shine a light on climate action, switching to renewables. Now, our focus is basically on solar energy. So what WWF Zambia has done this year is that it has partnered with solar companies. It has partnered with solar companies and other environmental organizations that are into conservation. And we decided to say, let's have an open earth hour where we're going to celebrate the environment, where we're going to celebrate solar energy, all right? And so, therefore, we are hosting or holding Earth Hour at East Park Mall. I hope in that aerial view that you were showing earlier on, you did show a bit of, East Park there because that's where we're setting up. And we've got a lot of, marquees there, tents there, and it's going to be big.
Oh, I
because,
noticed that. I
yes,
noticed that.
That is
you've,
us.
You've taken over East Park.
We've
There you
basically
go.
taken over. So it's very, very exciting.
Okay.
So what we have is a solar exhibition.
Okay.
So a variety of these companies are coming together at East Park Mall to sort of showcase some of the technologies that they have in terms of providing solar energy or providing electricity via solar energy, which is a renewable energy and which is an absolutely clean energy. I mean, hydropower is also very clean, but it's not entirely clean in the sense that you create a destabilize the ecosystem in a way, because as you dam water, you begin to sort of feed then water into an area that entirely dependent on that particular type of ecosystem that had lots of water, and now you've got to sort of ration water. So you've got a bit of an issue there. But solar, we've got plenty of sun, and we should basically embrace that. And that's what we're doing at East Park Mall. We're going to have dances, sketches. We've got Hot FM on site there doing radio broadcast. ZNBC is on site as well. TV coverage, and there's a lot that is going on. Food, plenty of food, but you've got to buy the food.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so you can, all age groups, we can come to East
all
Park.
age groups, yes, all age groups. You can come through East Park and learn a thing about too. Solar energy and how we're going to basically move forward. And I like the fact that now we've got lots and lots of solar lights that are available, that are portable, that you can put in your homes.
We do.
We can get rid of the candles.
Still that perception that alternative energy tends to be expensive. How do you think that, as that WWF, that you can fill that gap and begin to overcome some of those concerns?
Yeah, actually, it's just a matter of basically working on that. And the other day, I was talking to Professor Jane, who I just saw was on TV, and we had a very good conversation. He was talking about the solar industry becoming $1 billion industry in Zambia in just a matter of years, and that is very, very possible because we need to sort of provide a base load for hydro electricity. Basically, hydroelectricity is a base load, so we need to just put something on top to sort of cushion the load and therefore run away from this load shedding. So we'll have a lot of investment in that area. Yeah.
Talking about future plans, as we continue to celebrate Earth Hour, over the years, are you hoping to involve more cities, more towns in this particular initiative?
Yes. We're hoping to do that. And we sort of hope to do that through the media by talking about the campaign via the media, because Earth Hour calls for individuals to come to the forefront and participate. So we're calling on all the cities out there to sort of participate in their own space, take part. But I'd like to thank ERB at this particular point, because they've also helped us take Earth Hour to Livingston. They've helped us take
nice.
Earth Hour to the Copperbelt, where they've got an office there. And so we're sort of trying to spread. And as we go forward, we're going to create more partnerships that are going to help us, participate at a grander scale, for the entire country's sake.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Mata, I'll ask you to give a last word as you encourage all of us to be part of this really important hour.
Climate change is a real issue. And this is a responsibility of every individual, out there. The activities that you take part in really matters. And you as an individual must be aware of your responsibility to the environment. We only have one planet. We don't have any other planet. And if we do not really take care of this planet, we do not conserve the biodiversity of this planet, we shall go out. And if we want to create a sustainable future, we need to participate in these activities. We need to bring ourselves to a point of awareness where we understand the environment and how the environment basically sustains our lives. What we do to the environment, and therefore in the future we mitigate better these issues surrounding climate change, and therefore humanity goes forth into the future.
Okay, fantastic message, and thank you. We wish you all the best, and we pledge our unending support to this.
Come through.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed. So 20:30 to 21:30 tonight, Earth Hour. If you can, if you're in Lusaka, go with your families to East Park Mall. As you heard, there's a lot of activity in order for us to really think about the salient issues in this time as we think about the planet, as you so clearly heard. Okay?
I love the aspect that you brought out, Chisenga, saying that we're actually literally observing Earth Hour every day. It's become every
pleasure.
day
So now
now.
you can smile about it. You can say, oh, I'm
Yeah.
preserving my planet.
Well, I guess we'll just, continue celebrating Earth Hour and find a way of coming together and appreciating Mother Earth and
Yes.
how we can actually preserve our planet and make things better for our children, because it's about sustainable development. We need to actually consider the future generations. So this is another way of actually preserving stuff for the future generations. Well, you're watching Kwacha Good Morning Zambia, and earlier on, as Chisenga had actually said, you can actually send in your text by typing TV1, leave a space, your message, and send it to 4882 on any